What's going on, guys? This is Dancing Lobster again, and today we're going to be doing another replay analysis. And for this video, we are going to be looking at the Drow Ranger, and the Drow Ranger is in the 1.2 or 1.8k range, and or he says the game was around 2.5k average MMR. And so for this game, he left a little message with the replay, and he said, "I took a lot of harass and got killed in lane multiple times by the offlane Wind Ranger. I'm curious what I could have done differently to make it a better lane. I felt like my support was being too aggressive at pulling when the lane was a good position for me to farm, and not giving me assistance when I needed to zone the enemy offlaner." And he says that they're friends, and so he just kind of sounds like he wants advice for when they're both gonna lane together. And so I'm really excited about this replay because there's a lot you can talk about with Drow, because Drow is a hero where she's mostly a right click hero. There is application for frost arrows and gust, but a large portion of Drow Ranger is last hitting in lane and also positioning. Positioning is super important on Drow. So we're going to be looking at this. And we're also going to talk about her item build, her skill build, and we're going to definitely look at his camera movements. So he said that he had a lot of problem with his Sand King helping harass, and Sand King's not the best lane support, especially against a really long ranged hero like Wind Ranger.
Don't you dare.
And so we're looking at it right now. They're just kind of going for the last hits. He's getting good last hits. Drow's not the easiest hero to last with, so that's good. And we're going to be looking for him to have somewhere in the 40 last hits range. That's kind of like the minimum you want. When you're playing Drow Ranger. If he's having like a super great lane, he should have around 60 at 10 minutes or more. But it sounds like that's not gonna happen. So once he sees him wind running, he should back off. So you almost played that really well. And we're gonna look at this. So he has a double range creep right now. His support is gonna stack and then pull. See, this is a hard thing because you want, as a support, to be able to have that double stack off to pull. But that's kind of like an old way of doing it. And because, especially these early levels before this Wind Ranger gets more levels, and you know, shackle, wind run, power shot, and all that, you can pull the hard camp. You can harass and then pull the hard camp at like 14 or whatever it is, but still be within range to help your teammate. And that's probably what this should have done here. But it's also one of those things where Drow Ranger should have known. I think he could have kept running around and the creeps would have hit him and gotten more damage. He could have gotten that kill. He had vision of him. Wind Ranger didn't have vision of the Drow, so he could have kept running, I think. But he thought he had enough damage. But if you see your supports not near you in lane, you can't just be trading hits like that, like he was. Because, you know, he has tangos, but enemy offlaner also does. You kind of want to just chip away at him. Let's see if he gets here. So he's walking back to lane. That's inefficient. He has enough money for a TP, and you see this wave just coming in right now. He could have TP. Oh, he TP'd to the wrong tower. Okay. Or it looks like he dropped an item off on the courier, I think. I would have much rather him just TP to lane there. So, we're going to look at this. So right now, Sand King's going for a Caustic Finale build, which definitely means he should be trying to harass this person. But so at this point, it's extremely hard to lane for a melee support to harass this Wind Ranger, because she's gonna have a lot of speed on him. He doesn't have boots, and she's also gonna have Tranks to heal up a lot. So we pulled again. I don't think this pull's wrong. He's denying the enemy offlaner a lot of experience. Yep. At this point, the Sand King definitely should have come help. He's just kind of standing there. Alright, we're gonna look at that again. So he's pulling. He sees a wave under tower. At this point, wait. We're gonna go into Radiant Vision. He sees this Wind Ranger playing aggressive, and he's still pulling, and that's not what you want to do. He sees him diving, and he's still pulling. Like, if he could get a burst strike under tower while she's tanking it, that would have been a kill. And I think in this situation, when you're running away from the Wind Ranger, she was able to get, I think, like 2 or 3 hits on you around here. If you ran into the trees here and fogged her, she would have gotten less hits on you. You might have been able. It's a little trickier to dodge the power shot, but she might have gotten less right clicks on you. But it's kind of hard to tell. All right, so now you're in a lane. You've lost twice because your support's not helping you very well. He pulled, but the enemy offlaner's getting kills. A little bit because you're putting the positioning on your Drow hasn't been great. So let's just go back to that first one. When you were trading hits, right here, you decide you're gonna start trading hits with her.
Don't you dare.
And so you're kind of standing around here, and this is allowing her to attack you without your 2 melee creeps and your 2 range creeps attacking. If you had backed off and kited her, you would be in a much better position where your creeps are attacking her. See, now they're going to start attacking her because you brought her back. Whereas if, do that a little bit. So once you start attacking,
Don't you dare.
I don't think this is the right position to trade hits when you have a 2 range creep advantage like this. You start, alright, so this is where you start doing it. She starts hitting you back. You just gotta keep chipping at her like that. Right now you decide to fight her, you should have backed. Especially now. So you're taking a lot of unnecessary damage. And you gotta assume that an offlane Wind Ranger is taking win run at level 2 or level 1 in the offlane. So that's just the thing about knowing skill builds. So at this point you've died twice in lane. You got the first kill. You only have 8 last hits at 6 minutes, mostly because you've been dying. I'm not going to fault you on that, it's just kind of how the game played out. Sand King's invisible for me now. So, before I do replay analysis, I like to look at what hero they're playing, and then I'll look on Dota buff. Wow. I mean, the pulls were alright, because they're both level 5, and the Wind Ranger's only level 5. So they're definitely splitting the XP pretty well, but the kills are what really set you back. And while I think it could have been alright if the Sand King was there, the fact that he wasn't means you should have positioned differently. That's just, you gotta kind of react to how the game's going, not how the game should be played. But like I was saying, so I like to look at whatever the hero they're playing, and I look at like the top item builds and skill builds and Dota buff. And so there's kind of like 2 schools of thought for skill builds. Either there's a Frost Arrow build like this, and I would personally only go that build if it was like a 1v1 in lane against a melee offlaner, or if you had a really good support in lane that could assist you with getting kills. And I think Sand King could be that support, but that's not how the lane was playing out. And then the other build is, you know, you max up Vision Aura, and you stack agility items like we're gonna see right here. He's half health and he's That is not a fight you can take. At this point, you know,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
so at this point where the Wind Ranger now has a level advantage on you, you can't be trading. It's just how the game's gone at this point. Especially when you know she has Wind Run, she's got a high burst damage magical shot. That's something you don't have. Like level 1, you can trade last hits with her. She doesn't have anything else to hit you with spells, and you don't either. So you can trade that. But once you get to this point where she has like 3 levels in power shot, even now she hasn't maxed, you can't be trading. It's just the unfortunate truth of how the lane's going.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You can't be trading alone, I should say. If your Sand King was there, you guys could get some hits off. So you went Aquila, and so like I was saying, so I talked about the skill builds for Drow. And the item builds people have been going, it's pretty much unanimous. You go Aquila Treads, and then I've been seeing pretty much all of them are going Dragonlance, and then they build that into another agility item, like a Yasha. Either they go a casual Yasha, or they go for the Manta, or like an S and Y. And we're gonna talk about what this Drow Ranger is gonna do in a bit. We're gonna see this. Just these 2 people TP to lane. So you're in a really hard position right now, and you need to be thinking to yourself, how am I gonna come back to this game? And as a Drow Ranger, she doesn't have any great farming skills. It's pretty much all right clicks, and so the best way to just kind of stop dying and just to bring up your farm a little bit is to jungle. And in order to do that as a Drow, you need lifesteal. That's why in this situation I would definitely go Helm of the Dominator. That's what people also have been getting on Drow. Oh.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
No. So, right there. He gusted first, which is good. It gives him distance.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He should have right clicked to get stunned. I think he should start running right now. She still has Wind Run. It's not towards the tower. Tower's not safe. You have a Spirit Breaker charging in, and that's almost why I think he started to go on the Wind Ranger. You need to back up so that way your Spirit Breaker is going to be closer, and the Wind Ranger should be farther away. You gotta kite him when she has her focus fire on you like that. But yeah, so I think in this situation, or yeah, you can get the treads, and then I think you should go lifesteal, and then you just need to power jungle for 5 minutes. Because a Drow Ranger who's gets a good lane and can like punish the enemy offlane or get him out of lane alone and then take down a tower, that's where you can kind of go like those greedier builds where, you know, you go like Maelstrom first or whatever, and you start power farming lanes in jungle. But when you're having a really bad start like this, where you only have 20 last hits at 11 minutes, you need to kind of just take a step back from the game, say, I can't fight, especially against this lineup on the enemy team, and I just need to jungle this out. And Helm of the Dominator would allow you to do that. It's not going to be fast. It's not going to be some flash farm where, you know, like the enemy alchemist comes out of the jungle at 15 minutes with 2 items. It's going to be more like you're going to come out with 1 item at 20, but it's almost what you have to do. You have to kind of cut your losses and do that. At this point, when the lane's going so poorly, I would stop putting instant arrow and start putting more into precision aura. And so you went mid now. I don't hate it. It's fine. Get some good experience. The Storm Spirit is a good amount of levels. Actually, no, it's pretty underfarmed or underleveled. Nice. He gusts well. All right. When you have max level frost arrows like this is very important. This is why you might die here. That's why you do die here. When you have max level frost arrows, you need to be kiting. And what kiting is when you attack them, and they're walking towards you. You attack them, you move back. You attack them, you move back. So frost arrow puts a slow on them for 1.5 seconds. And so you need to attack them, move back, and then right as your frost arrow duration's about to wear out, you attack them again, you move back, and that's so they're never going to be in attack range of you. And that's the whole philosophy behind the max frost arrows build. So I'm gonna kind of spell it out as happens right here. So he jumps you, you gust, perfect, you frost arrow, back up, frost arrow, back up, frost arrow, back up, and you'd be way over here, and he would have gotten less hits on you. You wouldn't have gotten hit by a static remnant, and in order for him to keep going, he would have been tanking tower hits, and you probably could have killed him, or it would have been the lowest. He does have high armor, but that's one thing that you messed up on there. Is you need to kite with Drow Ranger. I might jump into demo mode quickly after this just to show you. And so, I mean, I hate doing this just because it makes it seem like I'm saying the game couldn't be won, but their draft is much better than yours. You have to understand that there's no such thing as a team composition in Dota that can't win. If you play the game right, and in some situations if the enemy makes mistakes, any team composition can win. And with your team composition, it's very much you need to be aggressive early, you need to be winning your lanes, and then just stomp through them at like the 20-minute mark. Like have all their towers down, and that's just not happening, and it's very uncommon in low-level pubs that it's gonna happen. And that being said, just because you're losing right now doesn't mean the game's lost. The enemy could dive tier 3s, you know. They could try and go for solo pickoffs and continually feed, and you guys get overfarmed and kill them. So like a game's never lost. This game's far from lost. But their draft is much safer and by default does pretty well against you. They got, you guys are mostly, I don't know, I guess a Drow Ranger. She does all physical damage, and you know, Bench has decently high armor. Bloodseeker's in medium range. Storm has unusually high armor, and Tearaway has a ton of armor. Look at that, 16 armor. He's only taking 49% magic or physical damage. Like, it's gonna be really hard for you to do damage, especially when you're as behind as you are. And so you're kind of wasting time now trying to look for kills, and that's just not gonna happen as a Drow Ranger. Like, your aura should be enough for your other heroes to be ganking and getting kills. We're gonna see here that you're gonna have very little effect, I think. Look at this. You're doing a good amount of damage, but once they get up on you and you have like no defensive mechanisms, you're gonna dive. Yeah. Get the kill, but it's not great. Like, when you're so behind as Drow, you really just need to kind of farm up an item or two and hope for the best. And let your precision aura be your global presence, you know? And so we're going to jump ahead now, and we're going to talk about his item build. Because on Dota Buff, he's going for the Ag's Maelstrom build, which I like, but so he does go for the Dragonlance next, which is good. That's what most people do. But he goes for the Ags afterwards, I believe. And Ags, if you're having a free farm lane, I can see some merit in it. It allows you to farm the jungle really quick. You can get a really big lead. But from behind, it's got a really bad build-up. And the stats aren't the best. The ult, or the effect of it, where it gives you the split shot, is good. Sort of. It's good for farming, and depending on their team compositions, could be good. Like, it'll be good against the illusions late game. But early game, when you don't have that much damage, you don't have any damage items, it's not the best first item. He might go the Maelstrom next, but let's see what he's thinking. He's going Maelstrom next. And at that point, I just think where they have such great ways of coming at you, with a Bloodseeker who can rupture you, a Storm Spirit who can zip on you from anywhere on the map, and then like a Wind Ranger Blink Shackle. Like, I feel like you need mobility items, whether that be with the casual Yasha for the move speed, and either getting a Blink or a Force Staff can definitely help give you that edge, and it's just I think it'd do much better for you.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We're gonna jump ahead again. This is probably the beginning of the end where they're gonna come stomp you guys. So this is a point where you're gonna start farming pretty well, or faster. You're still way behind on last hits, and Your GPM, I'm gonna guess, is somewhere around high 300s, maybe low 400s. Yeah, just the medium 300s. Invisibility. So we're gonna see. We're gonna try and find a team fight. Just talk about positioning in this fight. Fight at the Roche pit. Sand King's dead already. You're going kind of deep. Nope, you're good. You kited. It's kind of a bad fight for your team. You're all separated, and you're running into him now. That's just gonna be the end of it. You're gonna look at that. What you did there. Going to player perspective. I jump ahead. I think I'm a little off. Alright. So they see Wind Ranger's going to roast. They probably think they're roashing. His team's collapsing on it. That's good. Purple should come. He has boots of travel. He sees the Sand King's about to die. But his team stops going in. Honestly, at this point, the fight should probably be over. Sand King's a large portion of their damage, and they're only stunned besides and he sees them all right there, and he just starts walking right into them. And so that's like one of the positioning things. You don't want to be close to them. You want to be on the outskirts of the fight. You want to be behind your team. And I understand that he wanted to go try and help the Enchantress, but you can't be alone walking into 3 heroes like that. It's way too easy for him to jump him. We're gonna try and find another team fight. Look at his positioning. See if he should have seen that coming. So he's low. Alright, so he's got the bloodthirst on him. Storm's dead. He sees them all mid. Should have seen that Wind Ranger coming towards him like that. Did catch vision of it. That's like a map awareness thing. He did see them in the vision there, coming towards him. This should be like the last fight. They lost Rax. Alright. A little bit more back. Alright, so they're fighting into an Aegis. Alright, they see him in the jungle. They're going for a team fight. Let's see what he does. Nice double stun. Good gust. Silences them all. Kill the Bloodseeker. That's great. He has Aegis. They kill the Wind Ranger. That's great. You see a Terrorblade coming in. He's not Frost Ring, so the Bloodseeker's kind of running around. It's not going to do much, but... So he should be saving his... Oh, he got away. Wow. So he should be saving his Gust for Terrorblade when he gets low. I think he used it too early there. Or it probably didn't matter, but... So that wasn't a terrible fight. You saw that. He let his teammate, he let his Sand King be in the front lines. He let his Enchantress and Spirit Breaker be in the front lines, and he just stood on the back hitting him. And so he did well there. It's just the Terrorblade has a lot more farm than he does. He's got Satanic and crit. Wow. And then this will just be the final push. So. He's a Wind Ranger, he gets the creeps, can draw aggro, you need to do damage. This Enchantress is out of position. Right here, way too far up, he's gonna get swapped. Could have gotten swapped there. Nah, that's not a fight you take. With how farm they are, you want to be fighting on your high ground as a team like this. Just kind of waiting for them to dive, so that way you guys have a fallback. You shouldn't have been the first one in. Like, you want them to dive and then have your Spirit Breaker and Sand King like anti-initiate on them. Like around in this part of the base. So that way they got a tower hitting them, they might get a tier 4 hitting them, and then you guys have a quick base you can refill that in. Right. So a lot of this came down to not knowing how you can trade as Drow. And just kind of little mechanics about Drow that you need to look at. So I think the item build could have also been improved. I don't think Dragonlance into... I'm not gonna say it was bad. It was alright. I could see it working. I just think he should have farmed up a little bit more in the early game, and I think this build could have been alright. Could have helped him farm. but it just came online too late. And their team just, in all fairness, does kind of well against Drow, but there were things that you could have done that could have definitely made a difference and maybe pushed this game in your favor. And so I hope that helps. And I'm just going to quickly go into the demo mode so I can show you what I was talking about with Drow, about how you want to kite with frost arrows. And that'll probably conclude the video, but I think this is really important and is a really good tip for anyone who's playing Drow, because that's her advantage. You know, she loses all her bonus damage when a hero's on top of her, and so to kite with frost arrows is pretty important. So I'm going to go to level 7, or like pretending like we have the frost arrow build. And then we're gonna get an axe. Put him up to 7 or 8 or something. 9, whatever. Alright, so say we're gonna pretend like what you did. I mean, normally it was a storm spirit, but we're gonna pretend. So you had like boots. It doesn't matter. Alright. So he can kill you. He's coming. You're gonna start attacking him. He's gonna start walking towards you. You got your bonus damage, you lost it. And now he's just kinda hitting you. We're gonna refresh. But now we're gonna look what I wish I could put boots on him. We're gonna look at what you should have done. So I'm gonna put him way over here. He's gonna come attack you. You're gonna frost arrow. Run. Frost arrow, run. Frost arrow, run. Frost arrow, run. Frost arrow, run. And then he's gonna be like, oh, I can't get her. He's gonna start running, and then you start just peppering with the frost arrows. And then you can't run. And that way, you know, you're not taking damage, you don't lose your ult at all. And it's just, it's how you play Drow, because you don't want them on top of you, and you need to be kiting them. So I hope that's kind of what I was talking about. I hope that was all helpful. If you guys have any more questions about how to play this lineup, feel free to comment. And if you want to see more replay analysis like this, and I'm going to get into some more coaching, definitely subscribe and like my videos. It really helps me out, and it'll keep you updated on when I got new tips and tricks out for you guys. So I hope this helped. Thank you for watching. Thank you.